In today's video, I will be showing y'all my progress so far I made on the, Garden Warfare 2 map, which is Plants vs. Zombies, just like a shooter game, basically. To go in more detail, Garden Warfare 2 is a third-person shooter developed by the company Popcat Games, and it was published by Electric Arts in 2016. So, I'll be showing you the map, the characters, and all that stuff. So here we have the starter map, where you're gonna be spawning in. Then you can pick plants, zombies. For now, it just teleports you over at the plant side. We have the house there, which I gotta work on. The tree, this is where you spawn in as the plant side. The booth, which I'm gonna show you that right now. And we have the inside of the tree, which I'm gonna make the bobbleheads. Also, we have a Ohio thing over there. Also, in addition, the gates actually do work. And up here, we have something that launches you for a replacement of the cannons. One that's just a placeholder, to be exact. To change character, it brings you to the changing booth, which I remade. It doesn't really do anything and you can't really come back from it. Okay, but let's get into them characters. Please subscribe, but only if you enjoyed the video so far. I'm trying to make it to 100 subscribers before the end of the year. So first, we have Pea Shooter. We have the M1s, which is just him shooting a pea. Let me just put a dummy for it. Okay. And this does 25 damage, I believe. I haven't checked it. And Gatling Pea gives you a helmet underneath, if you can see that. And it does 9 damage for every pea that hits. Chili Beam Bomb, it explodes zombies and knocks them back, doing 180 damage. It's the only move I have so far that does the very good sound effect on that. If I don't hit anything, look, it doesn't play. And the third move, which doesn't show what it is, but it's Hyper, which is the one I showed in the YouTube show I made. And then the next one is a realistic Hyper that you can move around and jump super high. Next up is Chomper. I gotta replace his M1 sound for the Chomp. But Spike Rock is Chomper, which is Spike. But I can But the Chomp does 25 damage, I believe, too. The same as Pea Shooter. Can actually stun the person without you having to hit it if you do it, see? But it stuns the person for 4 seconds. When you stun the person with 4, it allows you to be burrow, and you can one-shot them. Next up is All-Star. All-Star is the football zombie from the original PvZ game. So for his M1s, we have him pull out a football gun and shoot the player, or dummy for this example, with footballs, which stuns for 0.2 seconds each single one. and damage the dummy 9 damage each frame fire hits. Next up, we have Sprint Tackle, which is basically just chili bean, but with M, for example, which has the Vanquish sound effect too. The Sprint Tackle charges forward at the dummy, or like the player, for example. And because I can't add collision to like the meshes, the tactical dummy that normally like blocks stuff, it actually does damage to the dummy instead of like taking the damage for like the player and all that. Last but not least, we have Super Brains. Okay, Super Brains is my favorite I made so far. So his first M1 does 10, second does 15, and his third does 20, I believe, but it does a bunch of nothing. He also is the only one with the R special. His R special being the laser he uses in the game, which does 0.5 seconds for like the 0.5 damage for like the laser and like the sparkling effects at the end. And next up, we have the Ball, which Ultra Ball stuns the character farther away. Like if the character is closer, you stun them for longer. Next up, we have Turbo Twister, which slows the character down and you do damage to them. Next is Heroic Kick, which leads the player forward without, it like brings the character forward and it does a big hit on something. Let me show a better example by putting it there. But you see, it does damage. Also, this character has a awakening that I'm making in progress. Which that is like the animation for one of his taunts, or like the icon for him inside of like the group. And the unnamed one, I forgot what it's called, but it's not done yet, and it's supposed to be the Super Brain move where he hits the person multiple times with like his hands, which is a variant for the Turbo Twister, I believe. I would also like to mention that the Super Brains moveset I worked on is public on the workshop. Also, for some reason, ignore the player. We have a poster in here for Freddy Fazbear, and Ryder, one of our friends, George, made this, which I find hilarious, to be honest. Well, thanks for watching.